support on the channel these past few months. It's been amazing, and I'm really excited to continue to grow with all of you. With that said, a lot of you in the past few months have left comments saying you deserve more subscribers, you need more subscribers, you deserve more, things of that nature, which I appreciate, and it makes me feel good because I feel like I'm on a good path, and I really appreciate that, and I thank you. But you can absolutely do your part for the channel. Even small little things like making sure you like videos, comment, and sharing them to social media, telling your friends, telling your grandma, your brother, your sister, your friends, your boss, spreading the word, and just continuously leaving comments and likes really helps me a lot. And a lot of you do that anyways, but if you're looking for ways to help, that is one way you absolutely can. Please share my content and like it and comment and engage. And you can also check out my Patreon. I'm taking a little bit of a, I don't want to say risk, but I think I believe in my channel and the content that I am creating, and I know I don't have a lot of subscribers, but I'm just starting, I'm just getting out there. So I have a Patreon, which you can check out in the link below. You can donate as little as $1, and it just helps to support the channel, tip a witch for your tingles. I do work full time, I work very hard, but I would like to, be able to get some more equipment, a nicer camera, a nicer microphone would be really helpful. And I think that, I can absolutely get to this point. Just need a little bit of help along the way. So if you believe in the channel and you want to donate, no pressure, every time. If you want to tip me for the nose itches that always happens when I record, it's very bizarre. So yeah, consider donating on there. Again, no pressure. No pressure. No pressure ever. I am offering extras. I'm offering personalized videos, shout out videos. So definitely take a peek, and support your favorite artists and ASM artists in 2020, especially your favorite queer artist and queer ASM artists. Sorry, I just got like a little bubble in the corner. I forgot to turn my Wi-Fi off, and so my phone's pinging. So, with that said and put aside, let's get into this really cool video that I have been wanting to cover for quite some time. And this is the case that maybe you've heard of before, and it is all the way from England, and it is the Who Put Bella in the Witch Elm. Who put Bella in the Witch Elm? Who put Bella in the Witch Elm case. lot of research on these cases. I do it myself. I do not, copy and paste like specific things I want to say. I actually take the time and write down things. So even though it may sound scripted, it is a script that I have gathered myself. I have taken the time to type up, and I have watched videos and documentaries, and so I really put a lot of effort into these videos for you, and I really, really like it. I enjoy the research, so don't forget, I do take requests, so let me know. Okay. On April 18th, 1943, 4 boys, Robert Hart, Thomas Willits, Bob Farmer, and Fred Payne, were out in Hagleywood near Witchbury Hill I'm going to butcher this. I am from Western Mass, so I look at it and I think it's Worcestershire or Worcestershire. Yeah, is that the same thing? But it could be Worcestershire or Worcestershire sauce. I apologize. I'm so bad with that. Like, I was practicing how to say this before filming, and the second I press record, I was like, well, this is not going well. So, in Worcestershire, England, these boys found human remains in a large wych elm tree. So they had approached this tree because they were in search of birds' nests. They were actually hunting illegally on the grounds, like on the piece of land that they were at. So Bob Farmer had climbed the tree, and he spotted the remains first and told the boys. He was very spooked. They all were really spooked. And they all declared and kind of like made a pact that they would not tell their parents, and they were not going to tell anybody because they were illegally hunting for rabbits on the land and looking for birds' nests, and they didn't want to get in trouble. But Thomas Willits, the youngest, couldn't keep it a secret, and he told his parents of the grim discovery. When police were notified, they returned to the tree, and they in fact found the remains as the boys had claimed. They found an almost complete skeleton minus the right hand, fragments of clothing, a shoe, a belt, and a gold wedding ring. The skull was a huge piece of evidence, as it still had some hair attached to it, and it had a very clear dental pattern. Inside the mouth of the skull was a piece of material fabric that was like taffeta, which could have been cut from the victim's clothing and used to gag the victim. All the tags from the victim were cut out. The right hand was found half a mile away from the scene, partially. It was partially eaten by an animal, or by animals. The body was sent for examination, where the remains were declared to be that of a woman who had been dead for at least 18 months. The professor who investigated the remains was named James Webster. He was head of forensic science in West Midlands. He declared that the woman had been placed in the tree shortly after she had died, or perhaps was still alive. This was because this had happened before, or it must have happened before rigor mortis set in. Otherwise, she would not have fit in the tree. She had to have been limber and loose, so she could have just passed or was still alive when placed in the tree. It is believed that she died from suffocation. The woman had given birth in the past and was at least 5 foot tall. Investigators began the process of searching for the identity of the woman, but with so many reports of people missing during the war, this was around that time. This was an incredibly excuse me, nobody came forward that they knew the victim, and they looked into dentists in the area, and they could not find a dentist to corroborate that they knew the victim, even though the victim had looked to have had dental work. So that was kind of a bummer for the investigation. An anonymous industrial worker claimed in 1941, around 20 months before the body was discovered, he heard a bellowing scream, bellowing scream coming from the woods where the victim had been found. He passed someone else walking on the road through Hagleywood, and the other person, he was like, "Did you hear that?" And the other person did corroborate that they did hear some sort of shrill scream, but nothing came of those claims. In 1944, this is what I really, really like about the case, by the way. Well, I don't want to say like, but what I find really interesting and kind of spooky and kind of creepy about this case, and this is what drew me to it. In 1944, a series of graffiti, which you can see in my thumbnail, graffiti messages appeared on a walk in Birmingham that read, "Who put Bella in the Wych elm?" Other messages appeared and consistently have been appearing since the 1970s, still to this day, which is eerie and a bit of a mystery. Very, very, very peculiar. Now, as to the theories of this case. This theory directly relates to the graffiti, and suggests that the graffiti artist had known the victim, or perhaps the killer. In 1944, a Birmingham prostitute named Bella had been missing and disappeared. This was reported to the police, but nothing came about this. So because of this, they decided to start calling the victim, or penning the victim, Bella or Lubella, or Lulubella, Bella. Another really interesting theory. In 1953, a woman named Una Mossop wrote a journalist, Wilfred Biffrid Jones. Originally she wrote anonymously, though, so Wilfred didn't know who this person was yet. She had wrote to Wilfred that Bella, the victim, was involved in a Nazi spy ring. Wilfred ended up uncovering the anonymous woman and being like, "Listen, I want to know this story, this is interesting, can you tell me more?" And so she finally, said that her name was Una Mossop, and she told Wilfred that her ex-husband, Jack, had confessed to family members that he and another man put the woman in the tree. Now, according to her ex-husband, he was drinking at a bar when a young woman became drunk and passed out while driving behind the wheel. And the men, were drinking with her, perhaps. Things were a little shady. The men had put her in the hollow tree in the woods in hopes that she would just merely awake, hungover and frightened, and she would never do such a thing again or never drink again, and she would be fine and just go home with her tail between her legs and feel bad for being such a shameful little lady, which is crap. Apparently, Jack had spent some time in a mental hospital around this time when they had put this body in the tree, and he had recurring because of the woman in the tree. And, you know, he had a lot of mental health issues because of this instance. But Una did not come forward again until, like, what was it, 10 years later. And it was after the death of her ex-husband Jack, so the validity of this whole thing is very, very difficult to say, and it's pretty much just a story, but a very compelling story. This next story could kind of maybe tie into what Una was saying. There's a lot of different theories that when you read them, they almost have like this interconnectivity, which is very, very interesting. Like, they almost sound like different people had like various similar stories to what might have happened. It's very interesting. So another theory is perhaps that this woman was a trained spy by the name of Clara. I knew that was gonna happen. Sorry. Joseph Jacobs was a German spy. I'm pretty sure I didn't say that correctly. He was a German spy who was apprehended in January 1941 when he was found and captured during the war. A photo of Clara was found on him, and her whereabouts were unknown and unclear. And this kind of picked up wind that, or picked up speed as another theory that this Clara was the woman in the tree. But in 2016, I guess it was discovered that she had died in a Berlin hospital in 1942. So I suppose that theory is disproved. Along with that theory is the theory about a woman named Clara Bella, who was killed by a German spy ring and was accused of knowing too much. But there are no records to support this, but it's interesting because it, you know, sorry, I thought I heard something. It ties in the Clara and the Bella. I think it's like very, very interesting. Then in 1945, Margaret Mira, an anthropologist and archaeologist from University of London, proposed the witchcraft theory. Blame the witch, blame the witch, blame the witch, you know. So she had proclaimed that this was an occult killing or a ritualistic killing, and the severed hand found near the tree could be consistent with the Hand of Glory ritual. Now, for those who don't know about the Hand of Glory ritual, it's an old, very, very old, like, I believe, like, freaking pagan tradition of, so the hand is cut from a body, a victim that is a criminal predominantly, and it is pickled in urine, salt, herbs, vinegars, and it's hung from a tree. And it's to repel evil and repel thieves and deter criminal acts, like to your home or to your village or whatever the case may be. Historically, people who were accused of witchcraft also have been known to be buried in trees to almost seal them and their magic. So this is like another theory that, you know, she was put in the tree because she was a witch, and they wanted to kind of seal her magic and keep her down. And that is very interesting because a lot of people think that people accused of witchcraft were mostly hung, and they were, but many of them were buried. That spooked me. I am so sorry. But yeah, that's an interesting theory because in the various graffiti messages around England, the spelling of witch changes. It's W-Y-C-H and W-I-T-C-H. university. Don't know what happened. Don't know what happened. Don't know what happened. Do you know what happened? I don't know what happened. Do you know what happened? I have no idea what happened. I think it's like almost as if like somebody came and like took the body apart. I don't know what they did with them. So nobody knows where these remains are to this day. This case remains unsolved and probably will always probably will always remain unsolved. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Send me a request, check out my Patreon. Maybe you're interested in some of the extras I have to offer. And don't forget, tell your friends, tell your grandma, tell your grandpa, tell your sister, tell your friend, tell your boss, tell your dog about the ASMR. I love you guys. Thank you. Thank you. And happy New Year. Can't wait to show you